The moment Eala's name appeared on the US Open schedule, 33,000 fans rushed for tickets, and New York responded by raising prices. The Queen's native has become the hottest ticket in town, and the city that never sleeps is bracing for the Eala Effect like never before. The moment Eala's name appeared on the US Open schedule, New York felt the impact. Tickets that had been sitting unsold vanished in a frenzy. The city that never sleeps was waking up to the Eala Effect. And the price of admission just went up. The numbers are staggering. According to reports, 33,000 fans rushed to secure tickets for Eala's matches, forcing tournament organizers to rethink their pricing strategy. For comparison, the $42 Eala signature shirt from Nike sold out within minutes, while Carlos Alcaraz, Jannik Sinner, and Aryna Sabalenka merchandise remained available. A 21-year-old from Manila had outsold some of the biggest names in tennis. The demand is unprecedented. At the Washington Open, tournament director Mark Ein revealed that at least 80%, if not more, of all ticket inquiries were about Eala. At the Canadian Open, every single one of her matches sold out, and tournament director Carl Hale admitted, "We've never seen anything like that in Toronto before. It was unexpected." In Cincinnati, ticket prices for her match against Amanda Anisimova surged by $160 per seat compared to 2 nights earlier, and it still sold out. Now, the US Open is experiencing the same phenomenon. The Grand Slam has already cashed in on Eala's popularity, granting her a wild card into the mixed doubles alongside Felix Auger-Aliassime, and scheduling an exhibition match against Iva Jovic on August 27 at Arthur Ashe Stadium. The red carpet is rolled out, and the Eala Effect is ready to take Manhattan. New York is not just another city on the tennis calendar for Eala. It is a place she calls home away from home. A city woven into the very fabric of her family's story. The USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center in Flushing Meadows, Queens, sits in the heart of one of the largest Filipino communities in the United States. Approximately 94,000 Filipinos call Queens home, and they have turned the US Open into a celebration of Filipino pride whenever Eala steps onto the court. Last year, the noise levels rose so dramatically during Eala's match against Clara Tauson that the roar inside the grandstand arena was befitting of Arthur Ashe Stadium on the final weekend of the tournament. But Eala's connection to New York goes far deeper than the crowd. Her grandparents, Frankie and Melinda, met and fell in love in the Big Apple in the 1980s. Frankie was attending Louisiana State University, while Melinda was studying at Marymount Manhattan College. Frankie came to New York to visit a friend and met Melinda. And the rest is history. They married in the Philippines, but lived in New York for 15 years before returning to Manila. My grandparents on my dad's side, Frankie and Melinda, fell in love in New York in the 1980s while both were at U.S. colleges. Eala wrote in her ITF blog after her junior title victory. I also have other relatives currently living in New York, so it was a really special week for me. That special week came in 2022, when Eala made history. At 17 years old, the Filipina captured the US Open girls singles title, becoming the first Filipino to win a junior Grand Slam singles trophy. The victory was deeply personal, a tribute to the city where her family's love story began. Fittingly, it happened in the city that holds a special place in her heart. I said that it's not just my win, it's all of our wins, Eala said in the post-match press conference. Last year, Eala made history at the same venue once again. She became the first Filipino to win a Grand Slam main draw singles match in the Open era, defeating world number 14, Clara Towson, in a dramatic 3-set battle. Eala clawed her way back from 5-1 down in the third set, saw 4 match points come and go, and eventually took the tiebreak 13-11. She collapsed to the court in disbelief as Towson's final return sailed out. I don't have a home tournament. So, to be able to have this community here at the US Open, I'm so grateful they made me feel like I'm home, Eala said after that historic win. To be Filipino is something I take so much pride in. Now, she returns as a completely different player. The 21-year-old has transformed from a junior champion into a projected number 15 seed. She has won her first WTA title. She has beaten the world number 3. She has reached the 4th round of Wimbledon. And she carries with her the hopes of a nation that has watched her rise with pride. The homecoming is personal. The homecoming is historic. And the homecoming is just beginning. When Felix Auger-Aliassime was asked about partnering with Eala in the US Open mixed doubles, he didn't talk about her tennis. He talked about her crowd. It's a great opportunity to kind of feel what it's like to have the Eala Effect and fan base behind me, the Canadian world number 4 told Tennis Channel. It's going to be funny because she's younger than me, but I feel like I'm the one that's like, you know, she has the fan base, right? Like, she's carrying the crowd. So it's going to be interesting. The moment captured everything about the Eala phenomenon. A top 5 male player, a 2-time US Open singles semifinalist and Olympic bronze medalist in mixed doubles, was admitting that he's riding his partner's wave at Flushing Meadows. The man who has played in front of some of the biggest crowds in tennis was acknowledging that the 21-year-old from Manila was the one bringing the energy. The partnership came together through a shared agency. Same agency, and then people in our teams kind of talked and made the partnership happen, Auger-Aliassime explained. But the Canadian also had another reason for wanting to play mixed doubles, keeping his competitive edge sharp. It keeps you in that competitive mindset, he said. When you get away from tennis, it's so different when you are relaxed and training and doing appearances and not sponsor stuff. It's different from being out on court when someone wants to beat you. So to stay in touch with that during the week with the mixed doubles, I think I am going to love it out. The field they face is stacked with tennis royalty. The confirmed pairs include Novak Djokovic and Aryna Sabalenka, Iga Swiatek and Casper Ruud, and Elena Rybakina and Taylor Fritz. Elena Svitolina and her husband Gail Monfils are also competing as a wildcard pair. Eala and Auger-Aliassime will play their first-round match on August 25 at Louis Armstrong Stadium. For Auger-Aliassime, the partnership is more than just a chance to win. It's a chance to experience something unique. The phenomenon that has followed Eala from Washington to Toronto to Cincinnati and now to New York. To kind of feel what it's like to have the Eala Effect and fan base behind me is going to be funny because she's younger than me. But she has the crowd. The Canadian star is about to discover what tournament directors across North America have already learned. The Eala Effect is real. And it's about to take Manhattan. The numbers don't lie. Alex Eala has become one of the most in-demand athletes in tennis, and the US Open is betting big on her ability to fill seats and sell merchandise. The ticket frenzy is real. When American Express opened its presale for the US Open back in May, one fan reported seeing more than 430,000 people ahead of them in the virtual queue for the men's singles final. Another fan shared that seats which cost $600 last year were now listed at $2,400 for the same location in 2026. The tournament has broken attendance records in consecutive years, and 2026 is shaping up to be another record breaker. But Eala is the driving force behind this year's surge. According to reports, the US Open received 33,000 ticket requests specifically tied to Eala's matches, a number that forced organizers to rethink their pricing strategy. Ticket prices for her matches have surged, with grounds passes now reaching eye-watering levels on the resale market. The tournament has placed a massive bet on Eala's drawing power. Beyond her projected 15 seeding in the singles draw, the US Open has given her a wild card into the mixed doubles alongside Felix Auger-Aliassime and scheduled an exhibition match against Eala Jovic for August 27 at Arthur Ashe Stadium. The tournament is treating her like a headliner because she is one. The $42 Nike shirt that sold out in minutes, while Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner merchandise remained available, is just one example of the Eala effect in action. The US Open knows what it has in Eala, a player whose popularity transcends her ranking and whose fan base is willing to travel, pay, and pack stadiums wherever she goes. The bet is paying off. The Eala effect has arrived in New York, and the city that never sleeps is bracing for its impact. The red carpet has been rolled out. The VIP welcome is complete. The mixed doubles partner is ready. And the city that never sleeps is bracing for the Eala effect. When Alex Eala arrived in New York, she didn't just walk into another tournament. She walked into a homecoming. The USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center in Flushing Meadows. Queens sits in the heart of one of the largest Filipino communities in the United States. Approximately 94,000 Filipinos call Queens home. It's the city where her grandparents fell in love in the 1980s. It's the city where she captured the US Open Junior title in 2022, becoming the first Filipino to win a Junior Grand Slam singles trophy. And it's the city where she made history last year by becoming the first Filipino to win a Grand Slam main draw singles match in the Open era. This year, she returns as a completely different player. Eala enters the US Open with a career-high ranking of number 20, projected to be seeded number 15, the highest seed ever for a Filipino singles player at a Grand Slam, surpassing even her 29 seeding at Wimbledon just weeks ago. She is one of the most in-demand players in the sport, with her $42 Nike signature shirt selling out within minutes, while merchandise from Carlos Alcaraz, Jannik Sinner, and Aryna Sabalenka remained available. The mixed doubles field is stacked with tennis royalty. Eala will partner with world number 4 Felix Auger-Aliassime, a pairing arranged through their shared agency. The Canadian star is already preparing for what he calls the Eala effect. It's a great opportunity to kind of feel what it's like to have that Eala effect and her fan base behind me. Auger-Aliassime told the Tennis Channel, "It's kind of funny because she's younger than me, but I feel like she has the fan base, and she's carrying the crowd. So it's going to be interesting." The confirmed mixed doubles field includes Novak Djokovic and Aryna Sabalenka, Iga Swiatek and Casper Ruud, Elena Rybakina and Taylor Fritz, and Alina Svitolina and Gael Monfils. Eala and Auger-Aliassime will play their first round match on August 25 at Louis Armstrong Stadium. Beyond the mixed doubles, Eala has been chosen for the Stars of the Open exhibition on August 27 at Arthur Ashe Stadium, where she will face her friend Eala Jovic. The event is part of US Open Fan Week and raises money for the USTA Foundation's youth tennis and educational programs. The preparations are complete. The support system is ready. The red carpet has been rolled out, and the city that never sleeps is waiting for the Eala effect to take Manhattan. What happens when a young woman from Manila, fresh off a breakthrough North American hard court swing, steps onto the court at the US Open as the highest-seeded Filipino player in history? What happens when the Filipino diaspora that transformed Washington, Toronto, and Cincinnati arrives in New York with full force? And when Alex Eala walks onto Arthur Ashe Stadium, will the world finally understand that the Eala effect isn't just about her? It's about a nation finding its voice on the biggest stage in tennis. The answers are about to unfold. And New York is ready. New York has raised ticket prices after 33,000 fans rushed for Eala matches. But the city that never sleeps is ready. Eala enters the US Open as the highest-seeded Filipino player in history at number 15. She will make her mixed doubles debut with Felix Auger-Aliassime, who admitted she's carrying the crowd. She will also face Ivanovic in the Stars of the Open exhibition on August 27 at Arthur Ashe Stadium. The red carpet is rolled out. The homecoming is complete. And the Eala Effect is ready to take New York by storm. If you enjoyed this story, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We bring you the biggest stories in tennis, drama, and emotion every single week. Don't miss what happens next.